Peace be upon you all, and welcome to This Explainer. Let's just be completely honest with ourselves for a second, okay? We humans, we are hilarious creatures. We really truly are. We walk around every single day, aggressively planning our lives as if we literally hold a guaranteed, ironclad 500-year lease on this earth. We endlessly procrastinate on our absolute biggest dreams. We stress out over a spilled cup of coffee or a delivery that's 5 minutes late, and we let our minds run on complete autopilot like a car with nobody at the steering wheel. Well, today, we are grabbing that wheel. We're going to explore a framework that is basically a massive wake-up call for the soul. This explainer is going to give you the exact mental tools to completely reframe your reality, honor the true potential the Creator actually gave you, and stop actively running away from your own greatness. So, let's dive right into a seriously provocative question. Imagine, just for a moment, that the angel of death knocked on your door today. Boom! You're told your time in this worldly life ends in exactly 6 months. What would you instantly drop? I can pretty much guarantee you wouldn't spend another second arguing with some random stranger on social media who has a cartoon profile picture, right? You definitely wouldn't care about the opinions of people who just don't truly matter in the grand scheme of your life. The answer to this question is deeply revealing because it completely strips away all the modern noise we get so caught up in. It instantly tells you what you actually value. It forces you to be fiercely, painfully honest with yourself about exactly where you are dumping your precious, incredibly limited time and energy.
Section 1. Leaving the past behind.
All right, to get to that truly authentic life we were just talking about, you've got to start with a massive mental shift. You simply cannot dwell on the past. It's written. The ink is dry, it's done. Holding on to all those what-ifs and trying to move forward while exclusively staring into the rearview mirror, that absolutely guarantees a crash. And honestly, the absolute biggest trap we fall into once we try to move forward is comparison. Looking to your left, constantly comparing yourself to others, completely robs you of your energy. It's crazy. You end up agonizing over someone else's chapter 20 while you are barely on chapter 1 of your own journey. It's absurd when you think about it. The only real competition in this life, the only genuine benchmark that matters, is the individual staring back at you in the mirror. If you absolutely must compare, you only look at who you were yesterday.
We're not talking about absolute perfection here, or somehow magically becoming a billionaire overnight. We're talking about a 1% daily improvement. Just 1%. Wake up, be slightly better, do slightly better. Think about Michael Jordan for a second. Before all the championships, way before the iconic shoes and the insane global fame, the guy didn't even make his high school varsity basketball team. He went home and he cried. Now that could have been the end of his story right there. He could have just complained to everyone who would listen and given up. But instead of letting that failure define him, he chose the 1% route. He spent the next morning in an empty gym. No spotlight, no applause, no cameras, just quiet, unrelenting improvement. His failure didn't magically create his greatness. His daily disciplined response to it did.
Section 2. Reframing fear and obstacles.
Now, as you start pushing for that 1% growth every day, you are absolutely going to hit roadblocks. It's inevitable. We usually look at these obstacles as some sort of divine punishment, right? Like, why is this happening to me? But the profound truth here is that the obstacle actually is the way. Every single day you stand at a crossroads. On one side, you have the path of curiosity. On the other side, the path of fear. If you consistently let fear dictate your choices, always taking the safe, comfortable route just to avoid that imaginary monster lurking in the shadows, your life is going to get increasingly smaller and heavier. Living a truly fulfilling life means routinely choosing the magnetic lure of curiosity over the roadblock of fear. The exact transformation you are desperately seeking, it's hiding right inside the obstacle you're actively avoiding.
I want you to completely redefine what fear actually is. Look, we typically think of fear as this purely negative emotion, an enemy that's just trying to keep us safe. But here is something totally mind-bending. Fear is actually an instinctual guide. Think of it as a pulling force from your higher potential. The whole reason you feel afraid is simply because you are stepping into the unknown. You're leaving your comfort zone. And let's face it, your ego hates discomfort. It desperately wants you safely on the couch, wrapped in a warm little blanket, binge-watching shows you've literally already seen 3 times. So when you feel that fear creeping in, don't run from it. Let it bring you alive. Let it be the literal compass pointing exactly toward where you need to go.
Section 3. Navigating grief and pain.
Okay, as we step into that unknown, we are absolutely going to face hardship. And honestly, this is where human stubbornness becomes almost comedic. We genuinely, truly expect this worldly life to be a non-stop 5-star luxury cruise. But life is a test. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and pain is a prerequisite. We get hit with minor setbacks and immediately throw our hands up to the sky, dramatically asking, "Why me?" We spend so much exhausting energy forcefully trying to manufacture happiness. But the actual cure for sadness isn't finding 100 superficial ways to be happy, it's just accepting the life you're walking through for what it is, trusting the immense divine wisdom behind the trial, and pushing forward anyway.
Think about nature for a second. We constantly wish for easier days, Endless summer, perfect weather, not a single cloud in the sky. But if you have literally nothing but nonstop sunshine, what do you actually wind up with? A barren, lifeless desert. Nothing grows there. The rain, the dreary days, the grief, the massive storms, they are what actually water the soil of your soul. They are absolutely essential for your growth. So instead of just wishing your life was magically easier, you've got to start wishing that you were better. You have to learn how to bend gracefully with the storms instead of rigidly breaking against them.
Enduring all that darkness brings us to an incredibly simple yet totally vital equation. Pain plus reflection equals progress. Enduring the storms isn't just about suffering for the sake of suffering. That's pointless. It's about letting those brutal mistakes and heartbreaks actually teach you something. When you get knocked down hard, if you pause to reflect and absolutely refuse to quit, the very pit you fell into eventually becomes the solid, unshakable platform you stand on to reach your absolute greatest heights.
Section 4. The power of consistency.
So to climb out of that pit, you need an undeniable force. And this is exactly where the real separation happens between those who just daydream and those who actually achieve. Listen, success doesn't care about your natural talent. It really doesn't. It cares about consistency. 10 years, that's the magic number. 10 years of unrelenting, obsessive work. While everyone else is out partying, making elaborate excuses, or just taking the easy road every single weekend, you have to be putting in the hours. Because the math of the universe is incredibly simple. 1 + 1 will always equal 2. If you consistently invest in yourself, if you put in the time and master your craft even when it's utterly boring, the payoff is guaranteed. There are no magical shortcuts here.
Now, of course, during those 10 long years, there are going to be moments when you are running completely on fumes. A little voice in your head is going to tell you to just quit, whispering that you just aren't good enough, that it's too hard. Listen to me very closely. That voice is a liar. The pain of fighting, the pain of getting back up when you are dead exhausted is entirely temporary. But the regret of quitting? Man, regret is a heavy, heavy anchor that stays with you for a lifetime, just haunting you with what could have been. Think about it. You've already survived every single storm up to this very day. You literally have a 100% track record of surviving. Do not give up now.
Section 5. Designing your future reality.
So, if we absolutely refuse to quit, what exactly are we building here? Well, you are the architect of your own life. Your beliefs control your thoughts dictate your actions, and your actions literally shape your external world. I want you to ask yourself honestly right now, are you just coasting in the passenger seat? Are you letting life drag you wherever the wind happens to blow, feeling completely powerless, all while complaining about the driver? Most people just react to life. Taking the driver's seat means you stop making those lame excuses, you take responsibility out of the world's hands, and you place it firmly and tightly right into your own. Okay, so here is exactly how you drive. Step 1. I want you to imagine the absolute highest version of yourself in 10 years. Really picture that person. Step 2. Look closely at them and identify the exact skills they possess that you are currently missing. Step 3. Become absolutely relentless in pursuing those skills every single day. The only thing standing between you right now and the person you are destined to be isn't magic, it isn't luck, it's simply a gap in skills. So go acquire them. To maintain this incredible momentum, you've got to keep a few daily principles in mind. First off, fiercely protect your beliefs. They are literally the foundation of your reality. Second, focus on sowing seeds, adding real, tangible value to others, rather than just selfishly reaping what you can. Third, surround yourself with people who see your potential even when you are way too tired to see it yourself. And finally, always remember this profound truth. Everything in life is hard. It is insanely hard to build an incredible life, but it is equally hard to live with regret and unfulfilled potential. Since both paths are hard, you get the absolute privilege of choosing your heart. I want to leave you with one final burning question. What kind of permission do you actually need? Seriously, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for everyone around you to just stand up and applaud you because they won't? Are you waiting for the fear to completely magically vanish? It never will. Our time in this world is way, way too short to leave your God-given potential sitting on the table. If you have been waiting for a sign to stop hesitating, to go all in on that vision that only you can see, consider this explainer your ultimate stamped permission slip. Get up, embrace the struggle, and get after it.